We fight for the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. It's great to be here, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with my friend while waiting for our arrival. We came in from Alabama this morning, and I don't know, did any of you guys see that debate last night? You never really? All right, good. I think we can cover some of that ground, but if you saw that, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. He's got it right there. You know, and it's not even her. It's what she represents. Is I think what we actually have to get out of this party. I think we've become lazy as Republicans. That's the truth. And believe me, I will hold to task the Democratic Party. I will hold to task the media establishment. But I can't do those things if we're not holding ourselves accountable for our own failures right here in this party as Republicans. And I think we've grown lazy. And I'll tell you what I mean. It's not just lazy in the tactics. There's a lot of that too. We got to compete to win elections, all of that. That's why I've called on Ronna McDaniel to resign as the failed chairwoman of this party. But that's not what I'm talking about right now.
Okay, all right.
We've gotten lazy about describing what we even stand for. Right? We've become a party that is just criticizing what the other side puts on offer. The left, what do they feed us? Race, gender, sexuality, climate. And we've been sitting around criticizing that agenda, but without offering an actual vision of our own. What do we stand for? Individual, family, nation, God. That beats race, gender, sexuality, and climate if we have the courage to actually stand for something. For a long time, we have been running from something as Republicans. Now is our moment to actually start running to something. To our vision of what it means to be an American today. That's part of what I think was on the debate stage last night. What does it mean to be an American? Yes, people my age, that question. You get a blank stare in response. It's like a deer in the headlights. That's the question the next president needs to answer. What does it mean to be a citizen of this nation? To me, it means we believe in the ideals of the American Revolution. The ideals that my favorite president, who I talked about last night, Thomas Jefferson, wrote on a piece of paper that we call the Declaration of Independence. The idea that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That is why I've said that we will end affirmative action and racial quota systems in every area of American life. It has been a cancer on our national soul, and we are done with it. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law, which is why we will use our own military to secure our own southern border and our northern border too. That's what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. What does it mean to be American? It means we the people create a government that is accountable to us, not the other way around. Well, today that means that the people who we elect to run the government should at least be the ones who actually run the government. Not this cancerous bureaucracy and the shadow government of the deep state and the three-letter agencies that are actually pulling the strings of power today. So you know what, if I can't be your next president for more than 8 years.
This marks the potential start of a third world war, and we will soon be hit with a silent, untraceable attack on America that unfortunately very few will see coming. This attack will be unlike any we have seen before, one that directly targets American farmlands and supply chains, which will cause a nationwide food shortage and plunge our great nation into darkness, despair, and starvation. I know some patriots have been preparing for this eventuality, but stockpiling and growing your own food is simply not enough, because this marks just the first phase of this orchestrated attack on America. And with Sleepy Joe and his team of incompetents at the helm, people will soon realize no one is coming to save them. Then it will be every man for himself, and the looting will begin. Supermarkets will be ransacked. Local gangs and marauders will target anyone who looks like easy pickings, and by the end of the first week, millions of unprepared, desperate, and hungry Americans will be eating from garbage cans if they are lucky. And that's exactly what our enemies want, to destroy our great nation from the inside. But the reality is, you do not have to be a victim. There is something you can do to prepare. I'd like to introduce you to a good friend, Teddy Daniels. He is a United States war hero, a White House insider, and a Purple Heart recipient. And he has just released an emergency broadcast that reveals the one thing you must do in the first hour of the attack. That will guarantee you will have food safely secured for you and your family for the entire year. It's a simple, empty closet hack that anyone can do as long as you have 3 feet of copper wire. Seeing this right now makes you one of the lucky ones. Because when the attack happens, most Americans will have no idea what hit them, but not you. You'll be in complete control, and that puts a lot of power in your hands. Yes, others may laugh when they see you quietly preparing for this imminent attack, but once our farmlands and food...
Which I think is a good thing. Then neither should any of those federal bureaucrats reporting into me either. 8-year term limits for the bureaucracy instead of civil service protections. That's how you drain the swamp. 75% reduction in the number of federal bureaucrats by the end of my first term. Shut down government agencies that shouldn't exist anymore, from the FBI to the ATF to the CDC to the U.S. Department of Education. We can't tinker around the edges anymore. We will get in there and shut them down. That is what it means to revive the integrity of a 3-branch constitutional republic. Is CEO in the White House, I think now more than ever. Don't start with last year's budget as the baseline and then ask what's necessary, massaging it around the edges. Start with 0 as the baseline and then build it up from scratch and ask what's necessary. It's how you end the national debt, rescind a majority of the unconstitutional federal regulations that Congress never actually passed, so that we can drill, frack, burn coal, use nuclear, every form of energy, ethanol included, American energy here at home. This isn't complicated. It shouldn't be controversial. It's common sense. What does it mean to be American? It means every person's voice and vote is counted equally in an election. What does that mean? Elections we can trust and believe in. Single day voting on election day as a national holiday with paper ballots, government-issued voter ID to match the voter file, and yes, English as the sole language to appear on a ballot in this country. As basics of having elections we can trust and believe in. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They're not even really Democrat ideas or Republican ideas. Not really, they shouldn't be. These are fundamentally American ideals that we fought a revolution to secure in this country. And I believe deep in my heart that those ideals still exist. I'm running for president to revive them. E pluribus unum means from many, one. That's what we've lost in this country. We've lost that common core of ideals that bind us together across our diversity. We celebrated our diversity and our differences so much that we forgot all of the ways we're really the same as Americans. And here's how we're going to get that back. It's going to be by all of us, not just me. All of us, every single one of us, speaking the truth in the open again. Say in public what you will otherwise say in private at the dinner table. Say it with a spine. Say it with conviction. Say it with respect. But part of respect is that you respect your neighbor enough to tell him what you actually think. That's how we're going to get this country back. That is what this campaign is about. Speaking the truth, not just when it's easy, but when it is hard. Speaking the truth, not just to the other side, but to our own tribe, right here in the Republican Party. That's what we're doing every day in this campaign. It's what we're doing this morning. Speak that truth without apology. God is real.
Restore your gums and teeth with the help of this soft mineral, and never need a dentist again. Thanks to this simple method, the days of fearing your next dental appointment are over. People are fixing their teeth and gum problems without painful procedures or expensive treatments, but only using this melting soft mineral daily. A scientist from Sao Paulo State University has recently found in his studies that this soft mineral can start regrowing gums and teeth almost overnight. Ingredients of this soft mineral reach deep inside your gums and teeth. This method is so efficient you may fire your dentist, as this can be done easily at your home. It only takes seconds and immediately starts fixing damaged gums and decaying teeth. So if you're suffering from any dental or gum issues, bad breath or metallic taste in your mouth, and you're tired of expensive dental treatments that don't seem to help, quit everything you're doing and click the Learn More link to access a free video that will show you exactly how to start using this method today. If it's worked for more than 34,677 people, then it can work for you too. Even if you've been struggling with gum and teeth problems for years. And best of all, you will never have to book another appointment with your dentist again. The powerful dental industry doesn't want people to know about this mechanism, which is the most effective and fast gum and teeth rebuilding method on the planet. Don't miss out. Click the Learn More right away before this opportunity is gone for good.
When you have these woke revolutions, it requires all of us at some point to say, no, not going to do this. A nation has to have civic education. They have to know what the Constitution is. They have to know what the First Amendment is. They have to have some idea who the people were that died at Shiloh, what Okinawa was about, who Andrew Jackson was, who Lincoln was, who Harriet Tubman was. If you don't have models of your past, you're going to forget it. We are living in a country that has no resemblance to the visions of the Founding Fathers in the first 200 years of our history. We're losing that ability with tribal politics, wokeness, cancel culture. If you lose the idea of citizenship, and if Americans don't see themselves as unique citizens of the United States, then you don't have a country. The people who control us in the corporate boardroom, in Hollywood, in professional sports, the people on Wall Street, the people in Silicon Valley, they have found a way to siphon the profits from 7 billion people on the planet that have an iPhone or an email account or a Google search to an area of about 80 square miles. If we don't wake up, the elite who don't believe in the American experiment will hijack our government. If we're aware of what they're doing and aware of the perilous status of citizenship, then we become masters of our own destiny. If we don't, then the citizenship that we've known for centuries will die. I'm Victor Davis Hanson. This is a course on American citizenship. Let's begin.
There are two genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism lifts us up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government in the United States, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution, it is the strongest and greatest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We fight for the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we're going to revive to save this great country. Thank you for coming out this morning, guys.